Tommy, thanks for joining me. AFL and NRL seasons are done now. The grand finals are done and dusted. Season 2023. Great games. But what's a jockey's grand final? So you're coming into Spring Carnival. You've got this race called the Everest. That's the most prize money you'll ever see. And then you've got the traditional Melbourne Cup, Cox Plate, Caulfield Cup and all these ones. So what's a jockey's grand final?
That's a good question. I don't know where our carnival finishes anymore. It seems to just all roll into one another. We've still got the Golden Eagle at Rose Hill, the Invitation, then you've got the Hunter and the Gong as well. So I'm not sure what the answer to that is, but we've got to pretty much be at our top for 9-10 months of the year, and then over Christmas time we have a little bit of a break, but then that rolls into Magic Millions. So yeah, it's a good question, but I'm not sure how to answer it.
So Christmas time is pretty much the only time you actually like sort of rest, and you're not working out, and you get to spend some quality time with the family.
Yeah, it is, and you know there's still nice racing around that time of year. Like Villiers is still on then, but yeah, it is a time that I've always taken off to spend with my family, and then when the end of the season happens, just at the start of August, might have a week off there, but other than that, there's good racing all year round.
So this race they call the Everest. It was just sort of started as a little idea, and now it's become the richest race in Australia. And not only that, it's people all over the world talk about the Everest. It's worth $20 million, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And for me personally, has it taken? Or do you think it has taken over the Melbourne Cup and Cox Plate, the Spring Carnival? Because all anyone's talking about this week, especially, is the Everest. Yeah,
it's definitely taken over what people talk about. Everyone used to talk about the Melbourne Cup and wanting to get to Derby week and stuff like that in Melbourne, and that was a race that stopped the nation.
Yeah.
But now I'd have to say when it comes to the Everest, that's all people talk about. As you said, if you go anywhere around the world racing in different jurisdictions, they ask about the Everest. Have you got an Everest ride? They don't say, do you have a Melbourne Cup ride anymore? It's always, what are you going to ride in the Everest, or what are you looking to ride, and stuff like that. So it's quite exciting, and money speaks many languages, and I think it's 20 million this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's 20 million reasons to talk about it.
It is, and it's even this year's been really dramatic. You had Giga Kick, Craig Williams got kicked off Giga Kick, and then Giga Kick being scratched as the favourite. And now Craig's got another ride. He got a ride as of a couple of days ago. But the drama around it and surrounding it, because a few of the old dogs, Nature Strip and Eduardo, who've always been vying for that Everest, this year retired. So it's the changing of the guard in a way, but still these young sprinters coming through are unbelievable.
Yeah, they are, but because they're young sprinters, they have little niggly injuries, and some of them don't come up in preparations and that. So it's sort of, and then you've got your slot owners, they want a good deal, and then you've got your trainers, they want to do the best thing by their horse.
Plenty of stuff going on in the background that no one sees.
Well, and I wouldn't know half of what goes on in the background. I was lucky this year with Marzu. He already had a slot from last year, so I didn't really have much to worry about there. But as you said, it is a change in the guard. There's so many nice horses coming through now, and there's so many options for them as well. And that's in Melbourne and Sydney, and we saw with Imperatrice, she's not coming for the race, but that was a bit of a shock to most. But yeah, there is a lot of options. But for myself, it's definitely the most exciting race to ride in the year.
So, of all the sprinters that you've ridden, if you had the choice of one of them for the Everest on Saturday, who would it be?
Well, Chautauqua, he won 3 TJ Smiths, and then they bring the Everest along when he
finished.
Decides he doesn't want to jump anymore.
Timing's everything.
So they bought that race out. So if with Chautauqua in his prime, 1,200 metres at Randwick, that was just his go. So he's probably the horse I'd love to be on if I was going into it this weekend. But then also Nature Strip, he was just that horse that took all luck out of the equation. He put himself on speed. He was tough and honest. So one gets back and one races from the front, but they're probably the two most exciting
That'd be
sprinters.
a good match race.
Yeah, it would be. It would have been.
It'd be a long way away from each other at the 200.
Even if you think about the good sprinters we've had over the years with Black Caviar and horses like that, if they were all around in the same era, at Hay List, it would have been unbelievable. Yeah. But they've been quite spread out, which is good.
No, definitely. So Melbourne versus Sydney. There's always been a rivalry, Melbourne versus NRL versus AFL, all of the above. So this Everest race and now the Melbourne Spring Cup, as you said, the race that stops the nation is the Melbourne Cup, but at the moment everyone's talking about the Everest. Is it hard for jockeys to decide? Obviously you're going to chase the horses that you have and chase where they're going to go through, but hard for you to decide whether to stay in Sydney ride in maybe one Group 1 and a couple others, or go into Melbourne, get a few more group races?
Yeah, I think for the Everest and the Golden Eagle, they're the two big ones, because obviously with the Golden Eagle, you've got Derby Day in Melbourne, and Derby Day is one of the biggest days of the year. There's 5 Group 1s on, so it's a massive day to be in Melbourne if you don't have a good opportunity here. And a horse like King's Gambit's going to the Cornwall, so he's a horse that I could travel down to Melbourne for if I don't have one here. And then obviously Everest Day, I think last year it was on Caulfield Cup Day, but this year it's Caulfield Guineas Day.
Yep.
And you look at a horse like Militarise, or Joe Moreira's going to ride him in Magic Man, you'd think he'd be here for the Everest, but he's down there. So I think it is good that jockeys have options, but it's one of them things where you'd love to be in 2 places at once.
Yeah, definitely. So what's the horse you're looking forward to watching this spring? Not necessarily the one you're going to be riding, but what's the horse you're looking for? Because we saw Romantic Warriors come over, and there was a lot of talk about that horse and rode on the weekend. So who's the horse that you're looking forward to seeing the most?
I think Amelia's Jewel. She's a West Aussie. I spent a bit of time over there. I've got a lot of friends and some family over there, and she's been amazing what she's been able to do, and she's very versatile. She usually gets back in her races. The other day when she won at Moonee Valley, she raced on speed. I think she runs at the 2 rack on the weekend. She runs there, and she's just exciting, and a great bunch of people, and really looking forward to seeing her again.
Now, this is a really hard-hitting question. So at footy clubs, you always have the class clown in the locker room. The guy who sits up the back and throwing stuff at people at the front. Who's the biggest class clown in the jockey's room?
Well, he's 2 different people. Like Regan Bayless, Reggie, King, whatever you want to call him. He could be up and about and be the busiest guy in the room and really annoying, or you could dead set go away from the races wondering if he was even in the room on the day. So there's two parts of Reggie, but when he's up and about, he's the guy you want to be around.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thanks very much for having a chat, and I'm looking forward to the Spring Carnival and beyond, and hope you get a few winners.
No, cheers, appreciate it. Thanks.